I'm not comparing myself with his brain. I'm comparing myself with the determination to stick to it. And I'm saying you have to do it yourself. So good morning and welcome to the Morning Blessings, everybody. You know where we gather every morning, a weekday, to renew our spirit, strengthen our faith, and realign with the 5 pillars of prosperity: emotional, mental, physical, spiritual, and financial. That's what we do. And some of you are there like Loretta and Nancy and Sue and Marina and Yuko and Betty and all of Colleen that comes every time. You guys are so important. And those of you on YouTube that comes to, not on YouTube, on TikTok, that comes to chat with us and join into the conversation. The Morning Blessings, if you don't know, started because it was a way of connecting with my children. That was how the Morning Blessing started. It was the way of sending them a note in the morning, not so much my son, but my daughters. And just to say, hey, how are you doing? When I started it, I think Vanessa was still in medical school and far away. And then Jillian was busy with her work and her job and all of that. And so I'm saying, well, I can't sit and expect them to be always doing the phoning. I say, Mom, how are you doing? So why don't I let them know how I'm doing and what I'm thinking? And that was how the Morning Blessings came into life. Sitting on my phone and sending a little greeting to them. And because of that, it got so big that for as many as that are in this book, there's maybe 500,000 more on that I wrote. And this story, so this book became the Morning Blessings with pictures of my travels and my garden. And it's a tabletop book, but what I'm saying is, there are things we can change and things we cannot change. This is our morning blessing. So when we realize we cannot change some things, we have to do something about it. No, we do not do anything about what we cannot change. We already acknowledge that, but we can do something about what we know we're able to impact or change. So today we're going to lean into one of the most powerful truths in life. It's true, you know? Recognizing what we can change and what we cannot. This wisdom just isn't about surrender. It's not surrender. It's about discernment. It's about liberation. It's about choosing our battles with grace and using our energy where it truly matters. We have to take a deep breath in always, especially in the morning. And that is why when we know what we're going to do, we know what we're going to talk about on the Morning Blessings, we take a deep breath. So take a deep breath at 4, release it at 7, and then release it after 7 to the count of 10. And when you have done that, then you're ready. You have seen the athletes went down the block before the gun gets fired, and Marina, all of these people, and Deborah, that you guys show up. And when you hold your breath, they hold their breath and then they're ready. And we enter life and we forget. But again, we have to hold our breath, release it, and then start the day. We have to be prepared. We are raised to believe we must always be doing something. We are told, you can do anything you set your mind to. You must push harder. Don't stop until it's done. And while this message has its own place, they can also mislead us because they imply that everything is ours to fix. And we can to force it, to push it, to carry it. It's a wonderfully powerful message. You can do anything you set your mind to. True. You must push harder, right on. Don't stop until it's done. Stick to it. I say that too. But you listen carefully. While these messages have their place, they can also mislead us because they might imply that everything is ours to fix, to force, to carry. And if we don't fix it, we are sick, we feel bad. We do not know what is going on. And we think we didn't succeed because we couldn't fix everything. This creates mental pressure, right? Emotional burnout, and even spiritual guilt. I didn't do it. And when things don't shift, no matter how hard we try, let me tell you, this is plain loss of love of ourselves. You're not responsible for everything. This means I care to tell you, hey, with all the love and emotion I can muster and push forward and tell you, it's not always all yours to fix. We need to stop believing that we can affect and go all the facts over anything. No, you're not responsible for someone else's healing. No, you're not. You're not responsible to fix every mistake. You're not responsible for the way someone else chooses to live their life. And we should not be fixing it in our head and then sitting, and when we see them, we pounce on them and say, you didn't do that great. You didn't do that well. You're not doing that. That thing that they told us that we must do, yes, but there is a limit. The power in letting go. When you let go, there is power. What happens when we begin to recognize what we cannot change? That is so releasing. It's almost like you drop a bag that you were carrying on your shoulder full of things you're fixing. You took it from the time you were 15 and 18 and you want to be rich and have money because you were poor. You lie. You make up stories about your life. Oh, I had all of this. I did this. And you just go ahead and you take somebody else's piece. You put it on there and you're constantly fixing this. What happens when we begin to recognize we cannot change everything? We soften. We become more, we soften. We breathe. We open space. Because we let it go. When we stop fighting life, we start flowing with it. When we stop constantly fighting to tell somebody what they should do, oh no, you should stop doing that. We need to learn to realize we cannot tell or force, or we'll succeed in some cases, of forcing somebody to stop doing something they enjoy, stop to go in a place, stop living the life they love. And then what do you do when that person now is just there? Do you really feel guilty? Or do you say, well, they could have changed? But you put the pressure. And you told them to do something. And now they're not doing anything. I had that discussion with my son this weekend. It wasn't him. Because he wouldn't do that. My children know me well enough that if you tell me don't do something, that's when I'm going to do it 200% stronger. So we were talking about the changes that I desire to make to scale, to get to the top of what I want to do, to go as high as I can, to push my boundaries, to extend myself. And he said to me, Mom, do not let anybody tell you that you shouldn't be doing this, that you should be resting, that you should be sitting. He said, do you know, somebody told me that I should stop and be satisfied to where that I have achieved. And he said, I was only 35 years old, Mom. And this person, they were telling me that, hey, you got far enough. What do you want more for? And he said, the passion in me, when I get emails from a family I have never set eye on, to tell me, thank you, Michael, for releasing that drug. For the first time, my 9-year-old grandson can go to school. He said, Mom, I want better than that. I want now for the 9-year-old grandson to go to school when he was 6 years old. But the drug can only be administered at 9 for now. So what do we need to do? So if I had stopped at 35, I wouldn't have received the note I got last week. Thank you. For the 5-year-old that now can breathe. So you see, and she hasn't stopped. You see Marina's message. So he told that to me. We need to stop fighting life. We start flowing with it, and that flow is freedom. We weren't born a female or male so that we can choose to affect everybody's life according to our own. It's wrong. So when we connect, if you really connect to the 5 pillars, emotional prosperity means no longer blaming yourself for other people's choices. Because the child didn't do very well in school, well, it was maybe his mother. Stop that. Stop that. You do not know where their destiny lies. Did you make no mistakes at 20? You, the 70, 40, 80, 90-year-old mother or grandmother, you didn't make any mistakes, right? You were perfect. Physician, heal thyself. Fix your life. Stop going over the fence. It's none of your business what is happening in your grandchildren or children's life. You need to let them sort it out. Mental prosperity means releasing obsessive thoughts over things out of your control. I just wish they would save more money. I just wish they would get a full-time job. You sit there and do that. Sit there in your little pot and do that. Sit on that stool and keep wishing that they would do it according to you. Is that going to give them the satisfaction to bloom? Or are you doing something that is actually wrong? We need to allow them to do that. That doesn't mean we do not support them if they need us. But it's always family. But sometimes we step out there and we want to control. And we all know that. Especially when you are on social media like me. Stop it. Do it. Why are you doing this? And then when I told Michael my plans, he said to me, he didn't get it. And I knew he didn't get it. So I let it go. And then something said to me a few days later, you need to tell him exactly what it is. But he got something in the conversation, the first conversation. So he said, you know what, Mom? When you said, if you stop doing this, what will you replace it with? What will I do, Michael, if I don't do this? Tell me. Because I am alone, but I'm not lonely. I live alone. I said, then you will be wondering whether Mom is okay or not okay. And that is what I do not want you to do. You stop me from going, not you, but somebody's behavior, or stop me from doing the things that I desire, I love. It's a passion of mine to speak. I feel it here. Am I good at it? I don't even know. But I know I have a message and I have something that I can say, hey, just take it and push it a little further. You'll get there. So if I stop doing that, then I am telling somebody who left a great example behind, Stephen Hawking, gnarled and twisted, in a wheelchair, talking through a machine. He's a human, and he sounded like a robot, but that man was a great physicist. I'm not comparing myself with his brain. I'm comparing myself with the determination to stick to it, and I'm saying you have to do it yourself. If you're looking for someone to be a speaker at any of your events that you're planning, get in touch with me. My email address is right here, and you can contact me, and I would love to give you more about making life choices to you or any of the topic on living a fulfilled life. Have a great day. And if you don't do it, or if you're the one that's telling people what they should do, they like to go there and then let them be that. Because saying all the wonderful things at their funeral is not going to be satisfying. Or I should have really let them continue their journey. Look at that. No, you should have done that before you start criticizing what they do. There are some people that are born to be out in the world, no matter in what form. There are some people who are born to be the first one to say hello, even if nobody answers. And then there are some people that choose to think it's okay to stand in a corner, and that's okay too. But if you are one of either side, do not force the wallflower to come in the center. It's none of your business. And you, the wallflower, do not put pressure on the one on the stage to say, sit down, shut up. You don't know anything. So we need to realize that physical prosperity means listening to your body, not punishing it with unrealistic expectations. Listen to your body. When you're getting older, everything changes. What you could eat in your 20s, your system is telling you, we do not digest. Spend some time, read about the human body. It's yours. Get to know it, notice it. Like Kathleen called. She was supposed to drop in yesterday. And she said to me, I finished all my exams and I was so happy. I bought what I believe was they said gluten-free pie. And she said, I bought it believing it was. I ate it. And she said, my stomach, my body, I feel like I'm 500 years old. That's what gluten does to her. And that's similar to what it does to me. Yet I grew up eating bread straight from the oven in my parents' bakery. Adding butter with it and having it right there hot. But now, when I eat it, everything hurts. It prevents my stomach, it doesn't get digested. So I listen to that. I cannot change that, but I can adapt and make the changes from myself. I can control what I put in my mouth. So could Kathleen. She thought she bought something that was gluten-free, but it wasn't. So she knows she could control that, but she couldn't control the liar, the person that put the wrong label on this pie. You understand? So now she pays the price because of somebody's whatever mistake maybe. Let's leave it at that. Spiritual prosperity, this is the one people do not get, means trusting a higher power and knowing it is at work even when you can't see the results. I did my best is good enough. Knowing that you have done your best. But don't say to me, I did my best to make this person be this person and they didn't. It's none of your business. Your job, yes, is to give the instructions. Your job, yes, is to set the example. Your job, yes, is to observe they need support. But your job is not to take a stick and push it down their throat. That's not your job. When you do that, you are forcing somebody to choose to change because you sit around and have nothing to do but to mind everybody else's business but yours. Physician, heal thyself. What could you do? Could you smile more? Instead of sit there and worry about people who have a life before them that they choose to live. That is why I am saying again and again, be at peace with yourself. That is what truly matters. If when you do it, it feels good for you, then that is what you have to do. It might not be what the crowd likes. The herd might kick you out because suddenly you have changed your stripe. You're growing in a different direction. That doesn't mean that it's just going to always be like that. You have to change yourself, not the others. And we know that. I cannot say it often enough. Mahatma Gandhi says, you become the change you want. You change yourself so you can able to accept these human beings for who they are or the situation. Like a few months ago, we were all crying for heat. Well, guess what? Your wish is my command, says the genie. And no, I can't stand the heat. Okay, don't worry. The genie will deliver something nice and cool for us soon. Okay, it's so very hot. Okay, the genie will say, "You, what do you want? Rain? I wish there was water and rain for the plants." And then we just talk, and it comes. We haven't recognized that. Do you say? Think about it. You know why you don't see what it is you ask for? Is because what you should surely put your time and your energy into asking, you don't. You ask, but when you're talking about this heat today, you're going to say, "Oh, it's so hot. I hate the heat." Passion. I can't wait for the rain. I mean, you know what? I rather summer. I rather spring. And when spring comes, too much rain. Summer comes, you're not happy with the heat. Winter comes, oh, and all these leaves. But look at the passion. Where passion goes, that's where energy goes. And where energy goes, things happen. So remember, do not use your spiritual prosperity, your cash in your spiritual prosperity, to attempt to twist others. My sister told me something. Her daughter is a born-again Christian now. So she said to her mother, they're going to talk on this person, whatever. This pastor is going to talk about the book of Revelation, and you should listen to it. So she goes in. And the first thing this person said, to the congregation, you should only listen to this TV station. You all know which one, right? So anyway, so she told me that yesterday, and that plugged in my mind. And then I said, so she got off. She said, no, I do not believe you should tell me what news or channel I should look at in the United States. Born again Christian, you know where they told her to go. So she got off, and then when the daughter came, she said, did you watch it? She said, no, because I didn't like that the pastor is telling me I should only watch this TV station and nothing. Nobody should be telling me to do that. And I got off, and I put a comment. She didn't say anything else. I didn't ask any question. So this morning, while I'm going through getting ready, I went to the washroom to wash my hands. And as I am there, something said this to me. The man that created that particular TV station, TV news channel, cable news, whatever, I don't know. He's in his late 80s. But he must have had about 6 different marriages, and none of them worked. He tried that 6 or 7 times. He got engaged to some that didn't get to a marriage. He's looking for something, and he cannot find it, but he has created something that is dominating for females, right? And you, all of us, are looking at it. But there is this one human being that started it from all the way down south in the world. And it's in America. And every time you talk, you find out he's marrying another woman and always younger. But he still hasn't found it. He's changing all the lives of the people, but he hasn't found it for himself. Still going strong, looking for it. So spiritual prosperity is something you have to take. But my sister was really listening to her daughter. Go listen to that. He's talking about revelation. There comes a time when you get saturated. And when you're too full, what do? You vomit. And that's what she did. She had to let go because she didn't like the idea of somebody telling her what she should watch. So I said, but you do that all the time. And that was all I said. So financial prosperity means trusting a higher power is at work even when you can't see results. Because you ask. That is what it means. Can you control that? You ask. That's why you went to ask. You delivered. You said, I can't take it. I need your help. Give me help. Of course, you can control your behavior now. How do you act with the money that you have? It's like what I said. How your emotional means no longer blaming yourself for people's mistake. Mental prosperity, being obsessive about things that you cannot control. Physical prosperity, not listening to your body when it's talking to you. Spiritual prosperity, believing because you go to this particular thing, everybody should follow and join in line. Financial prosperity, you ask for the divine assistance. You got it, but you're wasting it, and you keep going back for more. But you cannot see that you already have 2 pennies in there. The people that we look at, we don't see that they got it from starting small. So what are we challenged with? So we have to let go. What am I holding onto right now that is not mine to carry? Ask yourself that question. What it is you're holding now that is not yours to carry? Is it a relationship that you know you shouldn't be in? I don't mean a partner sexual relation. It could be a friend. It could be a sibling. It could be a relative. Do you know how to pull back and when to move? Someone else's expectations. Are you carrying that? Because somebody has decided you should act this way. A past mistake. It's over there. It's behind your back. Why are you taking it forward? Where have I been over-functioning, trying to solve other people's problems? Over-giving, overworking, so that somebody else doesn't have to do it. What would it feel like to simply accept what is? Ask yourself that question. No judgment, just acceptance. I accept it as it is. Pope John Paul, it is as it is. So when you journal these questions, you can answer them if you want, but you can take one. Let's say you decide number 2. Where have I been over-functioning? Because you're jumping up before somebody says something, you're jumping to do it. You're jumping. And at the end of the day, you'd really like to just find somewhere and sink at the bottom of the lake if you wouldn't drown and just rest so nobody could see you. Ask Akel, what does it feel like to let go and say, you know what, you guys sort it out. So we need to do that. So before you leave, we go, as you can see the time. Remember I talked just about the lake? Imagine you standing by a flowing river. You're looking at the river flowing. You pull your shoulders up and you let it go. And then you take the magical deep breaths for 4. You take the spiritual alignment to hold it for 7. And then you take the imagination to release whatever it is into that river to the count of 10. You left 1 is for guilt. 1 is for control. 1 is for fear. 1 is for regret. 1 is for someone else's problem you've been trying to fix. 1 is accepting you. 1 is knowing you are great. 1 is knowing, hey, I'm good enough. 1 by 1, toss those into the river. Watch the water carry them away. You are now lighter. You are freer. You're standing in your own power, rooted in your 5 pillars. You know they're strong. I recognize you repeat something or you choose one. There are 4 or 5 of them. I recognize what is mine to change and what is not. I release the need to control what is beyond me. I choose peace over perfection. I honor my limits and trust life's timing. I'm free, I am guided, and I'm enough. So then, prosperity isn't about grasping tightly. It's about flowing freely. It's about aligning your energy with your own powers. That is what it is. It does not drain you. When you master the art of discerning what to change and what to release, your life is in alignment with the 5 pillars. You're free. Emotionally, it doesn't touch you. Mentally, I'm gonna let this shit go already. Physically, I'm good. I ate right. You're emotionally light, mentally clear, physically rested, spiritually whole, and financially grounded. I'm good enough. I have sufficient money to pay for my living expenses. So today, go forward with truth. Just because you can. It doesn't mean you must, but just go with truth. I believe I'm good enough. Just because it's broken. You know that. So it doesn't mean you're the one who must fix it. Because it's broken, it doesn't mean your name is Mrs. Fix It or Mr. Fix It. Walk boldly and release what is not yours and trust that your peace is sacred. Do that. And give yourself a blessed day. And a day, say today is a blessed day. I am beautifully and amazingly created. So what you have to say? I am the best. I dance like a butterfly and I sting like a bee, and I let go of what doesn't help. You're amazing, you're beautiful, and you're spectacular. And that is, if you just take one and you take a step with one of those, I am amazing, I'm beautiful, I'm spectacular. See what happens. Have a great and wonderful day.